Okay, welcome to the morning mindset. This is going to be a good day today. We have a presentation trying to jump around on us. There we go. We have a lot of reasons for being excited today. It's the middle of the week, third week of the year. So Wednesday. So what are you doing today? People call this hump day. What does that mean? It means they're halfway to the weekend. Well, I hope you look at this as one more day in the velocity of your week, where like that Friday, when you hit that Friday, you're going your hardest, strongest, baddest, making it the most productive you could possibly go. Think about it like this, your funnel. Go from the smaller end on Monday and just blow out the end of the week. Get rid of this idea of hump day. We work real hard till Wednesday, and then we taper off till the weekend. So funny how all of these metaphors per se affect so much of us and affect the way we think. It's really a tragedy in some ways if you really think about it. It really shouldn't be that way. So today I'd like you to grab a pen, grab a notebook, take a few notes, see how today's lesson can help you in the things that you're trying to accomplish today to make things better for you and more stable for your progress today. So remember, these morning mindsets are all based around doing things specifically today and making things work better for your progress today. So let's get our mindset, let's get our mind focused, let's get in the game, let's make this day count, let's make it matter, and let's talk about a little bit of information here. So today's morning mindset is based on a talk I was listening to with my wife coming to work. We drive about maybe 20 minutes from our home to the office, and today she did something pretty cool. We both are both fans of Tony Robbins, and she played some Tony Robbins on the way to work. And this is what he was talking about: your shoulds versus musts. And so I figured it'd be a really good morning mindset to kind of bring to measure, because I really felt this was a pretty fantastic perception or perspective, right? So your shoulds versus musts. Everybody's got both. And the reality is our shoulds kind of live in this space or this place that is going to be, from my perspective, we're going to put it in the place of inaction. Okay? If something's a should, it's living somewhere in a potential of inaction, right? It's almost like it's potential energy, but it's not actual energy, right? And the reality is, if you sat down and wrote down all the shoulds that you have, okay, you should quit smoking, you should start exercising, you should get up earlier, you should get to work an hour earlier, you should stay off of YouTube, should. If you wrote them all down and then you take a real hard look at them, you'll realize that you're really doing none of them. Okay, it's almost like they just exist in this fantasy world, right? That these shoulds really have no potential energy at all. There's no power in them. And if you have something that's a should, like, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. Do you realize that as soon as you say that, as soon as you say I should be, that you're actually giving yourself an excuse to not do it? That even in that very word should is hidden the excuse to not take action. I should do, but I don't. Right? And he was talking today, which I thought was pretty powerful, that we're constantly living up to the image we have of ourselves. And that whatever the image we have of ourselves is, whatever it is in its multifacety, right, whatever components make it up, that we will consistently and constantly live up to that measure. Okay, for example, if you tell yourself you're a smoker, okay, well, I'm a smoker, but I'm trying to quit. That's never going to happen, because in your identifying factors of yourself, who you are, in your mind, quote unquote, you're a smoker. Okay, that's not something you're living up in the image of who you are to be a non-smoker, that you don't smoke. Okay, and shoulds live in the same proverbial space. Okay, if something's a should, it's only a should because we don't believe it's really in the image of who we are. I should be making more money. Okay, I should be more confident. I should have a better body. Okay, all of these shoulds live in this proverbial space that honestly has no action, activity, or force. Okay, they're inert. It's almost pure inertia. Okay, if you tell yourself you should in any form at any time, realize you're basically in the same stroke giving yourself the excuse to not do anything about it. Okay, that is a difficult perspective. It really is. I should be marketing on Facebook more. I should be going out and meeting with network marketing people. I should be going to the events that my city's having and handing out business cards. The second you call it I should anything, you're basically telling yourself you're not going to do that thing. Because should means no, or not, or inertia, or non-action. Okay? So what's embarrassingly powerful, I guess this is a good way to put it, is to sit down when we're done here, process morning mindset, and write down all your shoulds. Okay? Look at how many you have. Well, what are they? I should be working out. I should be focused on my business. I should be acting with more confidence. I should be making more phone calls. If the things that you should be doing are not part of the image of who you are, because if it is, it becomes a must. Okay, the image of who we are, there's must. Let me give you one must that we all learned, and it's a primary drive. I must eat food. Okay? Do any of you sit around and go, man, I really should eat food? You know, and you go from the day that you're into the next day, and oh man, I didn't eat food yesterday. I should have done that. Nobody does that because we must eat food. Okay, you should drink water. Does anybody really say that? Oh, I should be drinking water. You should maybe say I should drink more water. But do you ever say I should drink water? No. You must drink water. You must drink some form of liquid or you will die. Okay, so we have very, very basic musts that we can learn a little bit from to kind of look at the rest of the things that should be a must. How's that? Should be a must. I just gave you an oxymoron there. Okay, so I must work out. Okay, if you attach yourself to the fact that you must work out, even if you don't believe you have time, you know, people that work out, they have about as much time as you do. When you see someone that's fit, okay, you walk up to them and say, hey, you know, I heard there's only 24 hours in a day. From the way you take care of your body, man, you must have like, I don't know, 30 or something. If you think you don't have time to do things, let me tell you something. Some of the most successful, busy, and powerful people in the world are super fit. Okay, and they find time to do the things for themselves and for their body. And I'll tell you why. It's because they want the energy. Okay, because in their musts, they must take action. They must call more people in a given day. They must improve themselves consistently. Okay, you ever hear the theory of making today not necessarily your best day, just better than yesterday? Okay, that is a strong personal theory. Okay, when we think about being all the things that we want to be in our lives, you know, you got to take steps to get there. Okay, and if you just keep that concept in your mind that you're going to be better today than yesterday, and you make that a must, I must do better today than I did yesterday. Well, you will consistently improve. What usually happens is we get a few muddled musts, like I must try this. We get out and try something new in marketing, or maybe we get brave on a particular day and we make 15 phone calls. And then because it's not something that absolutely must happen and you will find a way no matter what, you can't go through the process of improving it the next day. Okay, how many of you have had a day in the past where you did way better than yesterday or way better than you're feeling you're going to do today, right? And it's almost like you go through this depreciation. Well, what you got to do is you got to get addicted to the must of that identity of yourself that you're going to consistently, constantly, daily improve. You're going to do better today than yesterday. If you keep that sensibility at all times that you must do better today than you did yesterday, it does miracles for your progress. And you might not see huge changes from one day to the next, but from 1 month to the next, you will most definitely see the changes happening. Okay, so you identify with who it is that you believe you are. Okay, your must come from what it is that you identify with. Okay, so you must identify with someone who makes good money, who is a six-figure earner. Identify with that. You must become a six-figure earner in your company. You must develop yourself as an entrepreneur. Okay, or whatever it might be, whatever your passions are. You've got to attach yourself to the image of who you believe you are, and you've got to turn any of your shoulds into musts. Our shoulds do not now and never will have enough strength or energy to endure. Okay? If it's in the shoulds, I promise you they will never happen. Okay? You might do some of it at once in a while or one particular day. You know, like so many people that like get into a workout program. Let's use that for an example. And they work out for, you know, a week. And they're pretty solid for like a week. And then you know what? They're sore. They're just sore, like, oh man. And then one particular day they just kind of kick it and read the newspaper instead. And it was so pleasant to them. Oh, it's pleasant. And then all of a sudden they're not working out anymore. It's because that wasn't really a must. They didn't really identify with it. It wasn't something they had to have. Okay, they have to have a vibrant, powerful body. Okay, why? Because it gives you the energy that you need to make it through your life, through your day. It feeds your brain a tremendous amount of oxygen, which it needs to think. And I can give you 900 reasons why exercise is important. And for me, I have attached myself to it. Okay, I have for about 18 months now, save a few days where I lost focus. I've done HIIT training every single morning. I actually do the Insanity by Beachbody every single morning, and I have for 7 days a week for 18 months, and it's because it was a must for me that I must be healthy. I must stay as young as I possibly can because I have a lot of responsibilities. Okay, I'm 40 years old. I'm not super old yet, but I'm certainly middle age. Okay, I'm certainly starting to battle with those certain things that come from kind of going over what would be considered your peak, right? And I am absolutely believing that within my personal identity, it is a must for me to stay in that perspective. I got to keep that energy going. It's a must for me. Okay, I must make the company that I started, Epic Life, I must make it work. And which means that my brain will find the faculty in whatever capacity necessary to make it work. Because no matter what the reality is in this given moment, it is a must for me. So my brain is forced to figure out how. Okay, if you want to do miraculous things in your life, then you've got to attach yourself to the things that are musts. And the way you do that is by identifying the things that you must do with what your perception of yourself. Okay, whatever the perception of yourself is up to this point, right? That you've got certain difficulties, or you believe you can or can't do certain things. You know, why did you ever define yourself that way in the first place? You know, you need to challenge those things. Okay, when something is a must, we attach ourselves to it, and our brain will compromise to find a way. Okay, if our brain can't see how, all right, or if it becomes discouraging, or if it becomes a point of insecurity when we think about doing or being certain things, what you do is attach yourself to it. Attach yourself to the must. Okay, the absolute primordial must. You have to. Must happen. And then your brain will go, oh, well, Beto's going to make sure it happens no matter what, so we better figure it out. Because let me tell you something, your brain is highly capable. Highly, highly capable. Okay, you've got this energy within you that some people like to point out in individuals as genius, right? What that really is a decision that you must do something, and your brain will compromise to figure it out. Okay, when something is a must, we attach ourselves to it, and our brain will compromise to find a way. Okay, it absolutely will, and you have to believe that with absolute certainty. But when you attach yourself to something, let me make it clear. It comes out of the realm of should. If you're saying I should in any capacity, write it all down and figure out how to turn them one at a time into musts. Okay? Or simply stop fooling yourself that it's going to be something that you're going to do and find a way to do it differently that does fit into that identity of who you are. Because we're all very powerful people, but we're all slightly different. Okay, we've all got a different way of doing things. Now, that doesn't mean that the core values aren't the same, because they are, right? The vigor and passion behind an artist that's painting incredible paintings worth thousands of dollars has got the same core primordial energy and focus in that must of their personality as the guy at the very top of a corporation that's making billions of dollars. It's the same drive. The expression is different. Okay, so our shoulds do not now and never will have enough strength or energy to endure. If you walk away from this mindset with anything, it's the simple, straightforward fact, okay, that if it's a should, it is never going to happen. Okay, if you can tell yourself that every time you're like, I should blank, stop for a second, go, oh yeah, remember that mindset. I'm making it a should right now, which means that it's never going to happen. The word should is the same as giving yourself an omnipresent excuse. It's an excuse. I should be X. All you're saying is, I'm not going to do X. Okay, I should be cold calling more. What you're saying is, I'm not going to cold call. I should market more in Facebook. What you're saying is, I'm not going to market in Facebook. Don't fool yourself. Realize that you can and you must do the things that are of your identity. And the minute it becomes part of your identity, you will attach yourself to it. All right, you will make it happen because your brain will find a way. If it's an absolute must, okay, if you're getting up and you must work out, you must find a way to do it. You must figure out a way to make 6 figures a year. You must become one of the top earners in your company. You must get good at presenting. When you make it a must and stick it there, there is no backing out. There is no turning around. That must is part of your identity, of who you believe you are. The musts that we must do create the identity of the person that we are, because to be at all is to take action. Okay, so write a few things down, maybe do the activity I told you, and write down all the things that are in your should department. Because remember what I said is should just means I will not. Okay, I should be doing this. You're saying I will not do this. Okay, you don't like to look at it in that perspective, because putting it in the should perspective means, hey, yeah, I've got these ideas that I should take action on. Take them out of that perspective. Get them into the must. I must do these things. And then if you absolutely force your mind to see that it is not an option to do differently, that it is a must, it is part of who you are, it's a virtue of yours, believe me, your brain will figure it out. It'll realize that that's what you're going to do, and you will have the entire power of your unconscious, subconscious, and conscious mind at your bay. But you have to take it from that perspective. All right, let's make it a good day. It is not hump day. It is the 3rd day of the week, ramping towards the biggest day of the week, the end of that funnel Friday. That's how we're going to do this, right? Have an incredible day. Keep your mind set. If you're feeling negative, shake it off. I always stand up, shake my hands out, jump up and down a little bit. Okay, motion creates emotion. Okay, and emotion is what drives you. Okay, sometimes it drives you in terrible directions, certainly. But if you've got an emotional reason for your must to exist, they will drive you and they will help you to succeed. So I will see you here tomorrow. Thank you for joining me here for the Morning Mindset. I appreciate everyone that's on this call. I see a lot of people that I see often, which is pretty awesome. And I will be back here tomorrow morning.